Good morning, Year 1. This is the last time we are writing our story, The Little Red Hen. Now, you could be watching this today on Wednesday, or you could be watching this later on in the week. Now, if you have already written your resolution today, you can skip our do now because you've already completed one for our resolution. But if this is another day, have a go at our do now. We've got a part of our ending here, and I need your help to edit this sentence. We're going to read it all together with our loud and clear voices. When she had made the bread, she asked who wanted to eat some. I do, said the stripy cat. So this is our first two sentences from our ending, and using your writing checklist, you are going to spot the mistakes. So I would like you to pause the video and you have 2 minutes to spot the mistakes. How many mistakes did you spot? 3? Me too. Let's find those 3 mistakes together. First, using our writing checklist, we are going to look for capital letters. Where should capital letters go? Should they go at the start or the end of our sentence? Well done, they should go at the start of our sentence. Now looking here, we have when. When has a capital letter. Is there something wrong with when? There is. We are missing a letter after the W. What letter are we missing? We have 2 letters when they are together make us sound W. Do you know what the other letter is? I'm going to give us 3 options. Is it a H, a L, or a D? A H, a L, or a D? Which one are we missing? Well done, we are missing our H, which makes the sound W, N. Well done. We need capital letters at our next sentence, and we have got them there. Do I need a capital letter for cat? No. Can you tell me why don't we need a capital letter for cat? Well done. We don't need a capital letter for animals. If their name was cat, cat would have a capital letter, but we don't need a capital letter for animals. Well done. So we can tick capital letters off our list. Next, we are looking for full stops. Where do full stops go? Do they go at the start of our sentence, in the middle of our sentence, or at the end of our sentence? They go at the end of our sentence. Well done. So let's look at our first sentence. At the end, who wanted to eat some? Have we got a full stop? Yes, we do. I do, said the stripy cat. Do we have a full stop for our second sentence? No, we don't. Should my full stop be on the line or floating in the middle? Well done. It needs to make sure it's on the line. Notice how small my full stop is. I am not scribbling a big full stop. So we've got our full stop. Do I have my finger spaces in between each word? I do. And have I written on the line? Do I see any floating letters? Nope, I have written on the line. Fantastic. So today we are focusing on changing the end of our story. We are writing the ending, and at the end of our story, This is usually where a happy ending is, where a lesson has been learned by the characters. Now, we talked all about last week about our moral endings, and in our story, throughout, our main character, the little red hen, keeps asking the other animals, would they like to help her bake the bread? Would they like to help to plant the grain? And they keep saying they do not want to. So at the end, when she asks, do they want to eat some? And they all do. Is she going to give it to them? No, it's not fair that she does all the hard work and she shows all her kindness and they don't want to help, but they should be able to get the bread in the end, and that's why she eats it all to herself. So today we are changing our ending again, and here I have some ideas what you could change your ending to. Maybe she could eat it all herself for lunch and dinner. Maybe she's going to eat all that scrumptious chocolate cake for lunch and dinner for dessert. Maybe she threw the banana bread in their faces. Maybe she's so angry that she throws, or he throws, the food in their faces. Maybe she shared the scrumptious vegetable pie with the zookeepers, or maybe with the people that live in the house at the garden, or maybe she shares it with the people who work in the circus. It's completely up to you. So you need to think about, what food do you have and where it is set, because you've got to think about, depending on where it's set, on what you could do. You can't write you're going to share it with the zookeepers if you have set it in a garden, and you are not going to throw banana bread if you have written about a vegetable pie. So you got to think about everything you have written so far. So I am going to show you now how I wrote down 3 different possible endings I could pick from today on my vocabulary list. Now I'm going to be writing about the ending. I drew a book here and pointed to the end to help me remember what I'm writing about. So I need to think of 3 different ways I could end my story. So my monkey has got her banana bread and she doesn't want to give it to the animals because they've been quite rude and haven't helped her. So maybe she could be very cheeky. My monkey's very cheeky. Maybe she could throw the banana bread in their faces. Very cheeky. Maybe she could also, maybe she wants to be nice about it. Maybe she wants to share the delicious banana bread with, maybe she wants to share it with the zookeepers because she lives in a zoo, who are really nice to her. And maybe she just really wants it all to herself because she's worked really hard and she knows it's really delicious. So maybe she eats it all for lunch, maybe and dinner because there's so much to eat. She eats it all for lunch and dinner. So here I've got my 3 ideas. Now that you have watched me write mine down, I would like you to write 3 different possible endings on your vocabulary list. I would like you to pause the video and I'm going to give you 3 minutes to write down 3 ideas. Off you go. Can you tell me one of your ideas? Fantastic way to end the story. Well done. Now that you're ready to write the ending, you need to make sure you have done these 3 things to innovate your story. You have written down a different ending. You have innovated the words said. Now you can use your list from the other day, or you can create a new list for said, because it's slightly different, because this time they're not being rude. They really want to eat that food. So maybe they begged, maybe they pleaded. So here I'm going to show you some examples of other words for said that I wrote down. So I've got my vocabulary list here. First I'm going to think of other words for said. Now we've done this earlier on in the week, but because they really want to eat my banana bread, rather than shouted and screamed, because that's quite rude, I'm going to think of other ways that they could say I do. So maybe they begged because they really want that delicious banana bread. So begged, maybe they also demanded. They could also be quite rude about it. Demanded the banana bread. Maybe they just replied nicely. So they replied nicely. Maybe they also pleaded. So here are some ideas for how my 3 animals are going to respond to my monkey. You're also going to need adjectives to describe your animals. Luckily, we've done this early in the week, and you can look at your adjectives. You can always change them and add more adjectives to your vocabulary list if you want to today. But I know I already have my adjectives from earlier on in the week. So once you have all those things, you are ready to write your ending. In our ending, we know that once your main character has made the food, she asks who wants to eat some. Your 3 characters are all going to reply, I do. If you would like to, you can slightly change what they reply. Maybe, I do, pretty please. Please may I have the banana bread? So you can change what they reply, or you can just stick to I do, it's up to you. And then you are writing your ending. She has to say no, and then she does whatever he wants to do. So that is what you are writing today. So I am going to have a go at writing my ending. I also have my 4 steps here to help me if I need to, and my story map. So I know the first thing I'm going to write is when she had made the banana bread. She asked who wants to eat some. Number 2 is when I have my 3 characters say I do. Number 3 is when she says no. And number 4 is my ending. So what does she do once she says no? So I'm going to use all of this and my vocabulary list to help me write my ending today. Now we are writing the ending. You're writing the ending underneath your resolution. I've got my story map to help me as well. And I have my list of vocabulary. I have my other words for said, and I have my different endings. So first, we need to write about our main character being done with what they have made. So, capital W, when she had made the delicious banana bread, she asked what's she going to ask? Who wants to eat some? When she had made the delicious banana bread, she asked, Who wants to eat some? And now we have our 3 responses. Now, if you're writing your resolution and ending in the same day, that is a lot of writing. So if you would like, you could say, I do, said the lion, zebra and elephant. Or I do, replied all 3 animals. So you don't have to keep writing those 3 sentences. But for example, if you're writing your ending on at the end of RE day, or if you're writing this on inset day or on the half term, you can write all 3 sentences. It's up to you, depending on if you are ready to write lots and lots of sentences. I am ready to write the 3 sentences. If you don't want to, you can just say I do, replied, and then write your 3 animals. I'm going to write I do, and I'm going to do each of my animals. So I do, not having said, I'm going to say begged. My lion begged. Begged the, and then I'm going to use my adjectives from the other day. The fierce golden lion. I can tick that off my list. Begged the fierce golden lion. Now, if you don't want to write the 3 sentences, you could then put a comma here and then write your other animal and then your other animal. But I am going to write all 3 sentences today. My next one, I do. We already had beg. I'm going to say pleaded. Pleaded the, we've got my zebra, so the black and white zebra. Pleaded the black and white zebra. And the last one, I do, demanded. My elephant's going to be quite snappy today. Demanded, I just got my ed because it's past tense. Demanded the, what do I have left? Oh, the stinky grey elephant. Very stinky today. Demanded the stinky grey elephant. And now this is the fun part. This is where I get to write after she had asked them, do they want to eat some? They all say I do. This is the fun part of the story where she thinks, my elephant thinks, you haven't helped me collect the bananas or any of the ingredients. You haven't helped me bake it. So do you deserve my delicious banana bread? No, you don't. So she's going to say, no. She's quite angry. She's going to scream it. She screamed. No, she screamed. And the little brown monkey, what is she going to do? I have all my ideas here. I know my monkey is very cheeky today. She's very angry. She's going to throw the banana bread in their faces because she's very angry at them. No, she screamed, and the little brown monkey, past tense, threw the banana bread in their faces. And because it's quite shocking, I'm going to put an exclamation mark. So let's read my ending. When she had made the delicious banana bread, she asked, "Who wants to eat some?" "I do," begged the fierce golden lion. "I do," pleaded the black and white zebra. "I do," demanded the stinky grey elephant. "No," she screamed, and the little brown monkey threw the banana bread in their faces. I've got my capital letters. I can see my full stops. I have my adjectives for my animals. I've got my different words for said. And I changed the ending. She didn't eat it, she threw it in their faces. And I have written on the line, no floating letters. And I have my finger spaces as well. Now it is your turn to write your ending. Here you have your story map and your 4 steps if you need to, and your writing checklist. If you're writing this the same day as your resolution on the Wednesday, you can shorten your ending down. You can still do the first sentence. However, for the next 3 sentences, you can just make them into one big sentence by writing, "I do," pleaded the lion, zebra, and the elephant. And then she would say no, and then the rest of it. Or if you're writing this on a different day, you can just write the sentences as normal. But I think we're all ready to write the ending. So I'm going to ask you to pause the video, and you have 15 minutes to write your ending. Make sure you upload your work onto Seesaw for your teachers to see your fantastic writing. Off you go.